Could you explain who you are and then tell us a little about what you do?
I'm Kunt from Kunt The Gang. I would say, if I had to explain it in a sentence, it's basically rude songs to a gay electro-pop backing. That's pretty much it.
Now my old granddad had a word. They used when things went wrong. To introduce this word to you, I put it in a song. So every time this word gets used, his memory lives on. I'm about to tell you what it is so you can sing along. Fuss it when that wouldn't let me touch a furry pipe. Fuss it when he got some shrapnel lodged in his chap's eye. Fuss it when the German sniper shot him in the cock. Fuss it when he found a lump on his left bollock. Fuss it when he named died and she left him all alone. Fuss it when he let a bogus caller in his own. Fuss it when the first black people moved into his street. Fuss it when our brightest men he couldn't beat his meat. Fuck sticks, mother's gun. Fuck sticks.
Is it difficult, getting booked for gigs and stuff with a name like Kunt The Gang?
It's sort of a blessing and a curse, because if people have heard of you, there's no trouble getting gigs at all. But if you're ringing up somewhere trying to, like, say for example you've got a Tuesday in Manchester and a Thursday in Leeds, you're trying to get a gig for the Wednesday and you have to cold call a venue, the first thing they say is what you called. You say Kunt The Gang and then you just hear the dial tone. So yeah, it's hard with people who haven't heard of you, but people who've kind of checked you out on the internet and sort of found out about you that way, it's sort of generally pretty simple.
What's it like playing a new venue? Is it you're nervous playing?
No, not really. I think I sort of got beyond nervous, and you know, I think it's sort of having done it for 5 years and never having been glassed, you sort of feel invincible and you think it's never going to happen, but you do sort of keep half an eye out for someone just sneaking up behind you. But no, it's generally all right. New places, because I generally just play my own gigs. They're generally like a home crowd, and people come along just wanting to enjoy themselves and have a good time. And it's only kind of when you play bigger gigs and support slots and that, you sometimes get people who ain't bothered by it or don't really like it. But it's generally people are really nice, you know. People just see it for what it is. It's just a bit of fun, you know. And if people don't like it, stick it up their arsehole.
Approaching companies, but they did not approve. Until I met this one guy, a corrupting our man. He said, I will sign you, but you have to understand. I want to utilise your farmers somewhere I can put my fingers and my hands, my toes and my foot. My fingers and testes, my tongue and then my head. I'm holding over carefully, and this is what I said. Come on then, just this once, use my arsehole as a cunt. Use my arse, use my arse, use my arsehole, use my arse. Come on then, just this once, use my arsehole as a cunt. Use my arse, use my arse, use my arsehole, use my arse. I started feeling guilty, as if I sold my soul. I started feeling itchy around my bumhole.
How'd you get about starting it? What?
I hit 30 years old and I was sat down the pub with my mates and started to feel like all the stories I was telling was like more than 5 years ago, and you think, fucking hell, I've got to get out more and do something fun. So like I'd always done this kind of stuff and written these sort of songs, so I just started doing it again. And my mate Andy Kunt was meant to be doing it with us, but in the end he didn't get on with Little Kunt very well, and so they sort of, you know, had a disagreement. I ended up just doing it with Little Kunt in the end.
Fair enough. You got a new album out called One Last Wank and One Last Cry. What can we expect from this album?
Same old shit really, but just with some different tunes. It's just like a bunch of songs about wanking off and loving inappropriate celebrities and sitting down when you have a wee, and a song about the Great British Cup of Tea, just that kind of general stuff, just general kind of, you know, teenage angst from a 35-year-old man.
Is there a reason why all your album titles are very similar?
Well, it was a trilogy of albums, like the Star Wars trilogy, but you know, this was a wanking and crying trilogy. So all the albums sort of dealt with themes associated with wanking and crying. So it sort of seemed nice to sort of round it up and kind of, you know, those three albums sort of embody the whole wanking and crying spectrum of emotions.
So tonight you're playing at the Railway Hotel in Southend.
Yeah.
Think it'll be a good turnout?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it looks pretty decent in there already. So yeah, fingers crossed there'll be a few more
Good
shows.
night. I'll certainly enjoy it.
Good.
Finally, as you know, you're growing in popularity and idolised by a lot of people for what you do.
Oh, really?
Have you got any advice for people that want to try and start something as similar to yourself?
Don't, so I'll fucking send the boys around.
This is Little Cunt. And may not that you fucking need it in Southend, but he's going to do a song all about sex education. And this is called The Birds and the Bees. I'm fucking doing it. Well, I was at a family wedding, and to be frank, I was thinking about fucking a phone, cause it was proper wank. The free bar had run out, so I decided to leave. When all of a sudden this little kid came up to me. He said,
"Well, there's some words in the playground I don't understand. For example, anus, front bottom, and mammary glands."
before I knew it, he clambered up and was sat on my knee. And he said,
"Uncle Cunt, will you tell me about the birds and the bees?"
so I stopped, scratched my head, and then I said, well, your daddy got his cheesy pole, which he stuck in mummy's fishy hole. Then he moved it in and out, in and out, in and out, until little tadpoles come out.
But the thing is, you see, my mummy is a lesbian friend, and neither her nor my other mummy has got a belly. They both got vaginas, and so I'm confused, you see. Without any cocks or men's milk, and fucking they make me.
So I stopped, scratched my head, and then I said, well, they probably found some bloke and got him to wank into a yogurt pot. Then they put the G's into a syringe and spread him up a minge. So your daddy got his cheesy pole off into a pot of finer coal. Then again the pot may have been ski, but either way it was white wee wee. And that's the birds and the bees.